in Detroit. Now imagine going from playing against a top 5 defense to the best defense in the league. The Pistons held the Cavs to just 40% from the field. Welcome on in. I'm Taylor Rooks with Dirk, Steve, BG, and UD. And Blake, I'm going to start with you because you have loved watching Detroit play to their identity in this series, and the intensity continues.
I have. I'm super impressed with Detroit. I mean, they were the best team in the East during the regular season, but a young team, we always have those questions. And in the first round, I feel like they lost their identity a few games, but then to get it back in that series and then to carry it over to game 2, it's just been fun to watch. That's also a hard thing to do, to find a lost identity in the playoffs. And it hasn't just been Cade tonight. I mean, they've gotten scoring all over the board. Minus taking care of the ball. I think they've done just a fantastic job tonight.
I think the challenge for Cleveland is trying to play a little quicker, make quick decisions, move the ball side to side. When they try to get methodical, that just plays into Detroit's hands. Like, Detroit's such a physical, defensive-minded team. When you slow it down, they get their mitts on you. It's so impossible to operate. That's why I think they're having a lack of success.
I got to say something. It looked like Tobias Harris tore his entire hip bone. Right back to everything.
All us old guys were hurting watching that.
I almost didn't come up here for this segment. But yeah, I mean, good to see him back in, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, he looked great out there. For me, I'm looking at the Cleveland side of the basketball. Listen, you're down 11 points right now, and you shot 39% from the field and 21% from 3. So you got to believe that you're going to make shots in the second half. I like the adjustments that you made on Cade defensively, bringing that big up. It seems like a soft trap. Once he gets off the ball, you get back to your man. And you have to stay mentally tough. Yes, Dennis Jenkins, LeVert, those guys are hitting shots. But guess what? It's not Cade Cunningham. Over a 48-minute game, continue to make those guys beat you. And if you're close in the end of the game, maybe those guys get a little tight and those shots start falling a little short, and then you take advantage of the opportunities you have offensively. But you're in a good spot right now if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I think so too, but can the Cavs generate enough points to actually win this game is my question. Besides, Spider had some good decisions, good attack, had some good pain points there in the first quarter, but who else is going to get going? Harden is 2 for 10. Mobley has 5 points. I think somebody else needs to step up. They're shooting 3 for 14. If you would have told me in this series that Detroit is having more threes in the half than Cleveland, that's obviously not a recipe for Cleveland to win. So either their shooters need to get going or their playmakers need to get going, but something needs to
Something got to get going.
Maybe Mobley needs to get going. How about we get some Evan Mobley?
He had a nice pop back there.
Yes.
Obviously, when Duren is on him, we like when Duren is on him pop back. If he doesn't shoot it, he can swing it.
Yes.
Then Duren is so far off, he can go into secondary action, run into pick and roll, that the ball handler can come off free. So he needs to definitely be more involved, I feel like, in the offense.
And also James Harden, his first made shot came with about 9 minutes left in the second, 2 for 10 from the field with 3 turnovers. They got to figure that out as well, Steve.
I mean, back to my original point, I think decisiveness and making quick decisions. Like, these guys, you can't play against Detroit if you're going to want to come down and try to, pre-decide what we're going to do. They're going to get into you. They're going to be strong. They're going to shrink the floor. They're going to be physical. They're going to force you to turn it over. So I think that quick decisions, getting to the second side, like Dirk said, using Mobley as a hub, getting him to drive and kick, getting him to play second side DHO, whatever it is, don't hold the ball against this team because it's just causing difficult decisions and therefore turnovers.
Yes.
Something to keep an eye on as well, Asar Thompson, which, by the way, where is he?
Everywhere.
He has 3 fouls in the first half, so they certainly have to manage that. What do you have your eye on with Asar, BG?
Just come out and play smart. I mean, he does such a good job defensively. I mean, he's literally everywhere. It's Steve's favorite thing to say about him. But, you can see James gets off the ball quick because he gets it all. He does not want to bring the ball up against that type of pressure. I mean, he's a great player and usually always making right decisions. But the little shove on James, when you already have 2, I understand. You're frustrated. But those are the ones, as you get deeper in the playoffs, those matter. He has to be on the floor.
It's Detroit. We're chippy, BG.
Yeah, we're just us Detroit guys. Come on.
Not quite the
Us Detroit guys.
Beer guys. Not like that.
No, not the bad boys yet.
All right, time for Court Connection, presented by AT&T. Cade Cunningham with the pass down the floor to find Dennis Jenkins. For the dunk, Cade has 6 assists. Jenkins has 11 points, and the Pistons lead the Cavs 54-43. The half, presented by AT&T, continues after this. Boy, basketball. Speaking of, Cade Cunningham He led the team with 23 points and 7 assists in the Game 1 win. But most importantly, he was just controlling the game, controlling the offense. How did he find success, PG?
You know, the issue is he kind of just did it by what he does best. And in the playoffs, you sort of want to take that away. And he's an unbelievable player, so you're not going to guard him with just one guy. But he was just able to get to his spots, and it felt like he didn't have much pressure, right? The drop coverage that Cleveland's in allowed him to just come off the screen. And Dean Wade does a great job. They have some great defenders over there, but it's impossible to get through every screen. And Cade does such a good job of playing under control and just taking what the defense gives him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hell of an offensive basketball player, and when he has the ball, it's not one-on-one. It's not even 2-on-1. It is 5-on-1. All of these guys should be active. If you see right here now, you see Cade coming off right here. As you see, once he catches that ball right there, Evan Mobley should be stepping up to that elbow even a little bit further because he has Thompson. We're not worried about Thompson. Even if he cuts through, you have Donovan on that backside. Stay up there on that elbow and give him something to see. Maybe get a late contest. Just help Dean Wade out a little bit. Once again, he comes off right here. We look at it, he comes off. Donovan is sitting there in that corner. Shrink up a little bit. You can go up the line, on the line, and make that a more difficult shot, getting your hand in there, or once again, a late contest. Right here, we have James. He's in the right position. Just slide over a little bit. Guess what? If he makes that pass over there to Thompson, if he makes that pass in the corner, we won that defensive possession because we took the ball out of Cade Cunningham's hands. So let's take a look at something I would like to see. Cade needs to operate in traffic every time. He needs to operate in the crowd. So let's take a look. I'll be Mobley. Steve, I guess we'll let you be Cade.
Okay. Point guard, the point guard gets to play point guard every time.
Thank you.
Dirk, you can be Allen on the drop.
Okay.
So as he comes off, you're on the drop coverage. You can get back a little bit more because they're usually back a little bit more, but I actually like that. They don't need to be back as far. I think you could take maybe just a half a step up. That's Thompson right here. As I'm Mobley, I'm shrinking this elbow here. I don't care where he goes. I have Mitchell on that backside. He can talk to me. That pass has to be made there. Even if Mitchell switches and that's Duncan comes up and Thompson goes down, let Thompson go down. You take Duncan. I'll get back to Thompson. We'll figure that out. But the ball is a priority. He has to operate in the crowd every single time he has the ball, and you have to make it very tough on him. If he makes that pass, that is a win for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, sounds simple. Cade did a fantastic job, but, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, UD. Use that length. I mean, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, they have so many guys that can plug gaps. And, you know, almost Orlando showed us the game plan, right? Use that length. Come off of Asar Thompson and make those guys pass the ball. It has to be anybody but Cade.
Especially how Detroit shoots the ball from the outside. That is not their strength. So you want to keep them out of the paint. You want to show boxes and elbows. You want to make it tough on Cade. You want to get the ball out of his hands. And you live with some of the three-point shooting. Besides Duncan Robinson, everybody else you can make shooter and shoot and you live with it.
I think they're going to have to really think about this deep drop. It's just too much on Dean Wade to try to handle big screen from Jalen Duren, get over, rear view contest. Cade's big. The size doesn't bother him. He can use his ball handling and didn't navigate this, get off clean. He's got the three, or he walks into these elbows areas. If they're not shrinking, that big's too deep for me. Yeah. If that big comes all the way up, and you've got Mobley cheating off of Thompson, now he's going to see more bodies. So obviously it's not necessarily what they've done, but it's something I think we should look out for because they may make that adjustment.
Yes.
The Cavs are allowing the third most points in the paint of any team this postseason and the most by any team in the second round. So I don't know. Maybe they saw you all's little demo.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, we are getting closer to tip-off. Game 2 of the Cavs and Pistons in the Eastern Conference semifinals. But right now, let's send it on out to Detroit.
And welcome to the 3-1-3. We are in Detroit, Eastern Conference semifinals, a series showdown between two Central Division rivals. These Detroit fans are fired up for this one. Cade Cunningham, how special has he been in the postseason? The leading scorer among all players in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell trying to lead the Cavaliers to their first road win in the postseason. It is game 2 of this second round matchup as the Detroit Pistons host the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pistons with a 1-0 series lead in this Eastern Conference semifinal matchup. How'd we get here? Well, it was a tie game late in the fourth, but the defense of the Pistons ruled the day. They forced 20 Cavaliers turnovers, leading to 31 Pistons points en route to the 10-point victory. The NBA postseason bracket, OKC, LA, they follow us. Minnesota, San Antonio, that series tied at a game apiece, and the Knicks with a 2-0 advantage over the 76ers. And we welcome you inside Little Caesars Arena alongside Brent Barry. I'm Michael Grady. Christina Pink joins us as well. All right, here we are, Bones. Pistons a 1-0 series lead, but a lot to be decided between these two teams.
Awesome to be here for the Lake Erie series, but it did feel like game one was a pretty poised Pistons win. They got a lot of contributions from a lot of guys. You mentioned the late tied-up score, but it was still the punishment that the Pistons can still do.
You know, the other thing is, I'd love to see Cleveland not operate out of the ISO as much. All year long, Cleveland has been at their best when they have not only ball movement, but they have player movement. They are at 0.86 points per possession on ISOs in the last 6 games of this playoffs. That's not going to get it done. So use the talent you have, use the floor, let that ball fly around, and it starts with Donovan Mitchell.
I think Donovan Mitchell's at his best when he brings the ball up the court with momentum, then receives a drag or a double drag, and he's able to play with a little bit of momentum and freedom, get to his spot, make shots, make choices, get in the paint, spray it out, shoot his little floater, whatever it may be. Him standing on the weak side, I don't think is his best attribute. So I think for Cleveland, it's been, 2 months where these two have played together, and they've had a hard time finding out how do they make each other better or at least not make each other worse.
And we talk about bringing the ball up with Donovan, but with James bringing the ball up, it's too slow. It's too methodical. It needs to be faster. You don't have to run it up, but bring it up, get it across half court around 20 on the clock right here. And obviously in that first group, you want to get that pocket pass, but in that second group, you want to hunt Duncan Robinson. I seen this from watching the game at home. In the second group, Duncan is going to either be on Tyson or he's going to be on Max. Those guys need to know that, and every single time the play flattens out, you need to just run and set a screen for James. He doesn't have to call you up. You should know this. This is something that should be in the scout report. Once again, we have Duncan Robinson. He didn't get in the hole. He didn't get in the gap. We just get downhill and we get an easy one. So we're talking about James get going in the first group. I understand you be a facilitator, but when you have Duncan, you have to get in the paint. And once again, once you get in the paint, see it, throw it. If you don't see it, do not throw it. He is not open. Do not anticipate. This is not dummy offense that you're running with no defense. Pass the ball when you see a guy open.
And when you talk about the Cavs, so much of it ends and begins with Evan Mobley as well. They need him to be big. They were outscored by 18 in 35 minutes with Evan Mobley on the court. How can they get him going, Dirk?
Yeah, he needs to be a factor, obviously defensively in the paint against the monsters of Detroit, and offensively he needs to mix it up. He can, against Duren, he's not going to overpower him, so he can probably pick and pop when he's on him here. Duren is not going to come out. He needs to line up some threes, get Duren out the paint. Then he's also great in the pocket. That's another way to get him going, get him rolling towards the basket. You see Allen, he can play high-low or finish himself in the paint. So he only had 14 points, averages 18 on the season, so we need a little more out of him.
Well, the Cavs are 0-4 on the road this postseason. That's tied for their longest road losing streak in the playoffs all time. So they got to ride the ship here.
We're going to see.
All right, we'll see.
We shall.
Thanks so much for watching. Any other outlets?
Like none of us believe. Don't sound like we believe, but we're going to see.
We're going to see. Thanks for watching NBA on Prime pregame presented by CarMax.